have a right to know not only where your tax dollars are going, but also that they are being used appropriately. My Conservative colleagues and I are working to scrutinize the government spending, and one way I've been keeping Canadians updated is through this regular by the numbers review. In this episode, I want to focus on the Parliamentary Budget Officer's recent report on supplementary estimates. The Parliamentary Budget Officer, or PBO, has recently provided analysis of the third request to Parliament this fiscal year to approve more government spending, also known as the Supplementary Estimate C. This time around, the Liberals are asking Parliament to approve another $10.3 billion in spending. This is on top of the more than $5.5 billion that has already been approved at the beginning of the year. We'll take a closer look at what they want to do with that money, but first, a recap. In recent months, Canadians have become aware of the massive increase in government spending on outsourced contracts to companies like McKinsey & Company, which we examined in the previous episode of By the Numbers. Conservatives, united with other opposition parties, have been relentless in questioning the government as to why they've been outsourcing work that could be done by public servants. We've questioned ministers and department heads at Government Operations Committee.
What do you have to say to Canadians when you are admitting you have no knowledge about the corporate background of the numbers and how you came to arrive at these numbers? You just show up here and be like, oh, I don't know. Are you familiar with the SNC Lavalin scandal?
I was in government.
Okay. Are you familiar with the WE scandal?
I was member of Parliament of Ottawa then.
Okay. Are you aware of the ethical breaches of the Prime Minister?
As you are.
Are you aware of the most recent ethical breach of the Minister of Trade?
As you are.
So I'll ask you, Minister, how can we trust you to investigate yourself after so many ethical breaches from your government?
As much information to be provided to this committee in a transparent manner, that is something that this government believes.
Then why are resumes redacted? Why are projects that McKinsey worked on in other countries redacted? Why are per diems redacted? What are you trying to hide, Minister?
But the Liberals refuse to listen, and they've been anything but transparent about their reasons for this questionable reliance on consulting contracts.
Serving today is an interesting trend where the Conservatives are trying to create a boogeyman.
When the members opposite talk about the spending that we did over the past couple of years, they're talking about supports that we provided to Canadians at the height of the pandemic.
And instead of considering alternatives, they're doubling down and asking for even more taxpayer dollars to hand out to their friends at companies like McKinsey. The PBO report appears to indicate that the Liberals would like to continue their costly consulting binge. They want Parliament to approve $817 million in new cash to pay for even more professional and special services, which includes spending on yet more external consultants. They have already spent a record level $10 billion that was earmarked for professional and special services in 2022. And now they have their hand out for more of your tax dollars. Since there are only a few weeks remaining in the fiscal year, this money would have to be spent by March 31st. That's right, the Liberals are rushing to dole our money to their friends. Again, we see the Trudeau Liberals have no respect for the Canadian taxpayer. Conservatives will continue to hold this government accountable for their inflationary spending and fight for your hard-earned tax dollars.